Hey there, everyone. Welcome back to Leadership Lessons with Cheri. I hope you are having a fantastic week. It has been amazing for me here. It has been busy, and in the hustle and bustle of everything, I forgot to get my allergy medication. And so I'm feeling it today, y'all. I certainly am. So if I look like I'm out of it, or if I start to sneeze, I do want to apologize ahead of time, because I'm going to have to make a trip and go get myself taken care of. Anyway, welcome back to another great week of information for you as you are developing your leadership skills. I have to tell you, I was at a conference all weekend, and the conference was amazing. And what was so amazing about it, it was a financial literacy agent conference, insurance agent conference. It's part of what I do in my business. And we had so many amazing speakers. We heard from some female leaders that are crushing it in the financial world, which to me, I think is pretty fantastic because, so many times we see it's men who are making those big leaps and bounds in industries like this. And so it's very inspirational to know that there's some good, strong women out there doing the same types of things. It was great because I don't know if you've ever seen the movie on YouTube, The Secret. If you haven't, I highly recommend. But John Assaraf, the creator of that, was one of our speakers, and he just had so many great things to say. The leader, the founder of our company, Rich Foley, his message was so good, so caring. And that's what I think I walked away with. And I spoke Saturday night to a group as we were debriefing. And my takeaway was, so many times we forget that leadership is about people. It's not about the bottom line. It's not about the amount of money. It's not about the title. It's about people. And that is exactly the message that I got from every single person at this conference. Sure, we all need to pay our bills, right? We all have to take care of responsibilities and make sure our children have what they need, and, our families and things like that. And we want to have a good, calm lifestyle, right? Not to be worried about money all the time. But I truly do believe if you focus on two pieces in your life, everything else will fall into play. One is the impact that you make in the world. And two, if you focus on the relationships, the people that you meet along the way and you get to know. As a matter of fact, one very young lady was in our group, and our group is from mainly makes up from California, Houston, and Baltimore. Just that's kind of how it works. Now we have others within the group, but that's where the majority of our group is from. And we came together in person, right? Well, this little girl from Baltimore, she's sitting there, she's young, and I see her, I look over and I see her, she is frantically taking notes on everything that's being said. And then I see her talking with some of the other people in the group and asking really good questions. And then I just see her focused and listening. She was at every session. She was networking with the team. She was note-taking and listening. Everything that we know is going to propel someone forward, right? The commitment, the courage to take the step forward, the ability to take it all in, and the courage, again, I guess you could say, to ask the questions. I was so impressed with her. And so I went up to her and I said, hey, I just want to tell you how impressed I am with you. I said, I don't know you and you don't know me. And we introduced ourselves to each other. And I said, but I see people in my career and in the work that I do now. And it's the people that are hungry. It's the people that are committed to making it happen and doing whatever it takes, legally, of course, but doing whatever it takes to make it happen. So I wanted to share that with you before we talk about today's topic, because as leaders or as future leaders, whatever it is or whatever place you are right now in your journey, I really want to make sure that I share those little tidbits with you, because it is about people. And the faster we get good, strong leaders out there realizing that, the better the world is going to be. Yes, we have to have the managerial pieces. We do. You have to have things done, and they have to be done well. However, if you empower your people, if you impact your people, and you build those relationships, that other stuff, I promise you, will take care of itself. Because people will do for people that they believe in, that they trust. All right, so let's get started with this week's topic, which is people. See, it just lent itself right into what I want to talk about this week. And this one is one that clearly you are going to be able to tell is so near and dear to my heart. But it is about building those relationships. And what it's not about, and this is what I really want to focus on today, is it's never about tearing people down. It's never about tearing people down. And I repeated it because I really want you to put that in your head. I have seen so many people fail because they did not understand that leadership is about people. And they did just this. I'm going to give you an example. I know of someone who has made the comment before that went something like, because it wasn't directly to me, it was secondhand information. If people don't get on board with my vision, then I will write them out. Y'all, if that's how you are going into something, I really want you to step back, reflect on that, and I want you to reconsider, is leadership the position for you? Maybe management is the position for you, but is leadership the position for you? Why do we become leaders? We became leaders, or we're striving to become leaders, because we know that as you grow in your own skills and in your positions, you can have a bigger influence on others, right? Now, that's not always necessarily the only way to have an influence, because you can have a formal leader and you can have informal leaders, right? But a leader is going to have influence, especially if they do it right. So we go into these positions, and I just think about myself leaving the classroom, becoming a specialist, becoming an assistant principal, becoming the principal. And if I had become the superintendent, I mean, clearly you can see that that would have been even a bigger umbrella of people that I would have an impact on. I stopped at the campus leadership level, but think about it. Every year I averaged about 700 students in my care. That's all the way from my first year to my final year, if I average it all together. Okay, 16 years. Let's do the math. Let me put on my glasses and let's do the math. 16 times 700. That's 11,200 students that I had an impact on each year. Now, let's just say they have just one parent, which most of the students had probably more than one, but let's just say they had one parent. So now we're going to times that by 2, because I'd have an impact on that parent too, right? Okay, so now we're at 22,400. I'm going to write that down, 22,400, because I employed about, and again, on average, 65 employees every year, times 16 years. That's 1,040 employees. Add that to the 22,400. Now I'm up to 23,440 people. Is that an impact? Now, that doesn't include any of my principal colleagues that I mentored. That does not include working through developing programs prior to becoming a principal. That does not include networking and presenting at conferences that I did throughout the years. That is just the direct influence that I had in 16 years as a principal. Now, was every single one of my years perfect? Absolutely not. But did I still have an impact on the people in the building? Absolutely. So when we think about leadership and the amount of people we're influencing, it makes sense that we have to take care of those people, right? Because what we want that level of influence to do for us as the leader is to help us grow and build our organizations, right? We want those people to believe in us so much, to value our work so much, to get on board with our vision of what the organization can be so much that they basically do the work for you. That's the goal of leadership, that you're there to guide them, to care for them, to support them, to get in the trenches with them if you need to, but that they carry on your mission, your vision for your organization. That's what a well-oiled organization is going to do with employees that are going to be 100% on board with you. Now, let's just think about this. Let's just say you're having a bad day and you walk into your well-oiled machine. Your organization is going great. And you decide, because you're having a bad day and you can't control your emotions, to tear your people apart because you got in trouble for something, or because something didn't go quite the way you wanted with a whatever, client, customer, whatever. Are those people going to continue to work for you? 75% of them probably will, but if it happened again, I'm going to tell you that would drop another 25 to 50%. And if it happened multiple times, repeatedly, you're going to lose your people. What if you got so worried about the bottom line that you didn't realize the responsibility was on you to develop your people to get them where they need to go, and instead you blame your people for the failures and you blame them outly, right? You say it out loud to them in front of people, blah, 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 blah. You're going to lose your people. Now, I've shared before in presentations, and I truly stand by this. I have worked with some great leaders, and I have worked with some horrible leaders. And what it did for me is it taught me so much, because it taught me everything to do and everything not to do. And I bet you could say the same thing. But I never want to be that leader that people say, oh my God, don't go work for her. The environment is horrible. She doesn't take care of her people. My mission is to empower those people to take on the hard work, because I can't do it alone. And I need good people doing it right along with me. And you do too. So this week, I really want you to reflect on that. I want you to remember, leadership is about people. It's about empowering people, impacting people, building those positive, lasting relationships with your people that will get them to do the work for you. It's never about tearing your people down. All right, guys. Hopefully you got a little something from this week's Leadership Lessons with Cheri. Of course, as always, reach out if you need some support. I am working on some new projects right now that are going to be pretty amazing going into 2024. I don't want to give all of you all of the details yet because I'm still ironing out a few things, but over the next couple weeks, I should have some stuff together where I can start sharing a little information because I know you're not going to want to miss out. But in the meantime, you can always catch Leadership Lessons with Cheri right here on this YouTube channel, and share it out with your friends. If you know people that want to become leaders or they are currently in leadership and they want these short little segments, please feel free to share it, because my goal in life is to have the biggest impact that I possibly can and to really support leaders, aspiring leaders, to be their very, very best, because that's what it's about. And as I said earlier, if we can get the right leaders with the right mindset in the right places, we could change the world. All right, guys, have a great rest of your week, and I'll talk to you next week right here on Leadership Lessons with Cheri.